Hey, this is Tom. I heard I got tagged on this six serious tag. Basically, it's 6 questions about different things, and it's basically a serious subject. So I guess that's where the seriousness comes from. So, what scenario in a SHTF do I expect? Or what SHTF scenario do I expect? Honestly, I used to say natural disasters, but given the circumstances of what's going on, I'm going to say civil war, civil unrest. That's what I really expect to happen. I don't expect, to be invaded by the Russians or, whatever. I seriously expect a civil unrest and a civil war to be happening. Maybe not in my lifetime, but that's what I expect. Number 2 was, I believe, what happens when the dollar goes down? What do you have to work with? Whatever. I read an article years ago in American Survival magazine. And we're talking years ago. It gave a list of the top 10 skills that a person could have to use in an apocalyptic thing. So, one of them was a auto mechanic. I could fix cars, I could fix most anything. So I guess that would go along with what Mickey Wilson had said is skill sets. There's many people out here have no idea what out there is like. And they're going to be basically just trotting through, and there's going to be people who make it and there's going to be people who don't. Now along comes a guy with a skill set like, okay, I could fix your truck that's broke down if you give me 2 or 3 boxes of them 12 gauges or whatever. Or, hey, I could teach your family how to live. You take me and you feed me, do whatever. So skill sets is something you have to have. Whether it be woodsman skill sets or, trade skill sets, building and fixing. Number 3 question is dig in or bug out? Well, for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm digging in. I always said I was going to. I know what I have here. I know where my avenues of approach are, what the easiest ways to get to me is, what areas I can defend and what areas I have to shore up. I've got water here, I've got food here, I've got everything I need right here where I'm at that can't be tampered with or anything like that. So I'm digging in. Bugging out on the other side of the coin. Bugging out is not an option for me. Health, physical reasons, number 1. Number 2, I've seen what happens during like this hurricane that's coming in, and they're calling for evacuations. And we've been warned here that, things could get messy. And already, with the way the summer's gone, we have back roads that are closed. Your main roads, forget about it. They're going to be so congested you're not going to get through. And the back roads are already closed due to flooding and washed out and this, that, and the other thing. So, yeah, bugging out's not an option here. If you live in a very urbanized environment, and I'm in that kind of gray ground. There's urban areas here, but it's also wilderness areas. So if you live in that middle ground, you're going to have people really congested because you're going to have the bug outers that want to get out to the wilderness. You're going to have the people trying to get into their families. It's going to be a mess. So right at this point in time, it's digging in. Now, number 4 was urban or wilderness setting. I live in the woods. I've showed you a million times, right here is the tree line in my pond and everything else. I live in the woods. So, to me, that's where I'm comfortable at. If I have to be out there, I know. Urban, I'm not so comfortable with. It's easier to get lost in an urban environment. It's easier to acquire things in an urban environment. And where I'm at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got eight grocery stores within 3 miles. I've got 3 sporting goods stores, which don't rely on them, but I got 3 sporting goods stores and a number of different things that I can, like you take your local KFC, they leave everything behind. Well, you got a couple of days, month maybe in the freezer. You can always hit them places up and, a bag of chicken's a bag of chicken. A bag of hamburgers, a bag of hamburger. So I'll take the wilderness environment to live, but you're going to have to find an urban environment somewhere to procure what you don't have or what you're going to run out of. My 3 strongest skills. Well, number 1, I'm a musician. So I can play music, entertain people. Number 2 would be my survival skills. Number 3 would be all the other little skills like being able to fix cars and fix electronics, make different things, bows, arrows, stuff like that. So, I'm supposed to tag 3 YouTubers with less than 1,000 subs that I would take with me. This is really tough because, to be honest with you, and I've said this before, I'm basically a lone wolfer. So, I'm supposed to take 3 YouTube channels with under 1,000 subs. First one I take with me is Chris Wood, I should say. Chris has he has a small YouTube channel. He don't really play on it much because he's trying to make a living. But he's an ex-veteran of recent times that I'm not up on all the newer stuff, so, and he's also a medic. Well, the stuff I know is, kind of dated stuff. I'm sort of up on the newer stuff, but he knows the new stuff, the new procedures, the new whatevers. So I take Chris. I would take Steve Freeman from Huntsman Outdoors. Steve is a no-nonsense, straight-to-the-point person. But he's got good survival skills. He's got good instincts. And he'd make a great scout. And the last one I would take with me would be, well, I had them all wrote down, but my choices weren't. The last one I take with me is Mickey Wilson. He might be surprised at that. But Mickey's a good old boy. And he knows the stuff in the woods. Between the two of us, what I don't know, he'd probably have covered. What he don't know, I'd probably have covered. I don't think he'd be afraid to, as he says, drop the hammer on anybody, if need be, when it comes to his family and stuff. And that's what you need. You're going to need people who have your back, that you can depend on. And not so much mean, miserable people, just people who's got your back. Mickey's got a heavy religion background. He's got a family he'd want to defend. Same with Chris. Chris has got a family he'd want to take care of. Same with Steve. Steve's quiet in the woods. Steve knows what he's doing. Mickey, I would believe, would know what he's doing too. And same with Chris. Excuse me. So, that's the 6 serious tag, I guess it's called. And there are my choices and my answers. And most of my answers to this tag can be found on my Prep for the Prep videos. So this is Tom. I want to thank you for your time and your patience. If you're not subscribed, please do. I'll see you guys on the next one.